Good morning, everybody. Yes, that's right. It is Evan here, Evan from Yankee Mania. I'll be hosting the morning show this morning along with Sean Browning. Hopefully, he comes up soon, as well as Nathan, who is at the gym. So he will also be joining us this morning. So we have a couple of guests on. You might be thinking, oh, where's Joe? Well, Joe has a lot of work to do before tomorrow's military show to honor our veterans in honor of Veterans Day. So he will be taking care of that between today and tomorrow before 7 p.m., which is when the show is. So he will be taking care of those things while obviously we have our normal scheduled programming here. Lucky enough, I was able to come on this morning and take care of the morning show. So we'll go about 45 minutes to an hour. We'll give an update on all of our sports teams. You guys in the chat we'll address your comments as well. So I think it's very, very important that we still were able to come on and run things as smooth as possible before tomorrow's veteran show, which Joe has a lot of work to do for. So I just wanted to start off with a couple of programming notes. So today at 4 p.m., Joe will be live with the Mets PA announcer Colin Cosell at 4 p.m. today. So he will be live with Colin at 4 p.m. today doing an interview right here on Yankee Mania. And welcome in, Sean. Welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Just got home from work, so that's why I was a
Well,
little late.
that's crazy, but thank you for coming on this morning, making some time. We appreciate it. And we'll be joined by Nathan soon, too. So that'll be
Yeah.
great. So just to finish a couple of programming notes, Joe will be live with Colin Cosell, the Mets PA announcer, today at 4 p.m. And then tomorrow, we also have another morning show here, which I will be running the show again tomorrow morning, just like I am today. And with hopefully Sean can come on as well, and Nathan from NR Media, who does a great job here on the show. And then tomorrow night is our big, big show. We have the Honoring the Troops show. That will be led by Joe. He will be joined by our very own Ken from Yankees The Ugly Truth, as well as the guy that we have right here, Sean Browning. So, we thank them for their service and their contribution, and they will be honored tomorrow. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Make sure to subscribe to NY Yankee Mania. Make sure to hit the notifications bell. Make sure that you guys are all aware when we go live or when we post a video or when we post a short. So that's very, very, very important. We also have an NBA show that we're doing now with myself, Nathan, Johnny Salami, and Chef Nick. So because you guys, love the NBA streams, we'll be doing more of those every week. Fridays at 7 p.m. So set your calendars. Friday nights at 7 p.m. We'll be going on for our NBA preview show, which should be very, very exciting. Thank you guys for being here this morning. Let's start off. I guess the first topic we can touch on, Sean, is the pitcher that just got posted. His name, the Japanese pitcher, Satsua Imai. Satsua
Yeah.
Imai will be posted. He was already posted this morning. So, Sean, what are your thoughts on him, and do you think he'll be a good fit for the Yankees?
Well, I think he'll be a good fit for the Yankees. We've had a small handful of Japanese pitchers in Yankee history. Well, we had two of them. One was average, but he could brawl. So, and that was Hideki Arabu. But he was kind of a below average pitcher coming from Japan, so it wasn't too much of a surprise. And then Masahiro Tanaka was an absolute stud here in the
Yeah,
Bronx in the pinstripes. And he was a stud there. And I think this he because a lot of what he projects as is a lot close to Yashiobu Yamamoto. So we know that he can pitch, but I believe he's a good fit, and he's a guy I would be if I was Al and I was Cashman. I'd be sending out the Japanese minority owner of the Yankees. That's probably Hideki Matsui. Some of the others, I would go full stop on trying to get this guy over here in the Bronx. Um, but he could sign anywhere because I mean, you had guys like Imanaga, who when he first came over, he signed with the Cubs. Senga, he signed with the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
So not all of them go to the Dodgers, but the Dodgers do have a kind of a head start, if you will, right now, an appeal factor. But some of these Japanese players, they want to make a name for themselves. They don't just want to be, second banana to Otani. You know what I'm saying?
Right? No, that's a great point. I mean, we saw with a couple of these players like Yamamoto, Roki Sasaki that they wanted to sign because they had other Japanese players already on that team, like the Dodgers.
Right.
Usually, you're right. They want to be the main star, like Tanaka was for us. But some players, they can't really handle that. They want to be, the
They
second guy,
want,
the third guy. They want to have a specific role. And I think with the
well,
Dodgers, they already have a lot of superstar players, so there's not really much room to hide.
right.
Um, but also, it's important to also know that you can be your own pitcher, and you don't have to always be the number one guy, especially on every team, because they already have a lot of those guys. So, but I
Oh
think
yeah,
it's a good opportunity for the Yankees to sign Imai, and hopefully they will be in on him. And I think they're one of the favorites. They're pretty
yeah.
much one of the favorites for every player at this time
Oh
of
yeah.
the year. Yeah,
And also, I mean, a lot of the major league records ever since our ball club, I should say, ever since the Yumo and Ichiro came over, are really open and receptive to Japanese players. Plus, you got places like in the West Coast where they have a huge Japanese market. They got parts of town, and even New York also has a Japanese village. So um, that helps the players feel at home. But yeah, I think the Yankees right now they are one of the favorites, and I think they got a good shot at getting this guy. But you never know, and but we got to pull out the whole full stop on trying to get him over here.
yeah, no, definitely. I think that would be a good choice, especially because we know that Garrett Cole won't be able to start the year. We know Carlos Rodon won't be able to start the year, and Clark Schmidt as well, if he's not traded in the deal. So it's going to be important to monitor. I think the Yankees will be in on him. Another option out there is Freddie Peralta. I've heard some rumors about him possibly being traded. I don't know how much it would cost, but that could be something that I think maybe Cashman would be interested in. Obviously, we had Devin Williams last year, but I think the main thing with that is, he comes with a good arsenal as a starting pitcher. He was the number one guy this year, but he had a good season in previous years when he
Yeah.
was the number two or three guy. So what do you feel about him?
No, and I think that like you said, it was a number 2 or 3 guy, but he had to step up in the absence of Woodruff's injuries.
Yeah.
Um, and he did all right. He he was good. He just there was times he got shelled, but every pitcher gets shelled during the course of a season. He bounces back. He's a great pitcher to have on your thing because he's not just a 3 pitch pitcher. He's got a kitchen sink arsenal, if you will. And yeah, no, he's a decent pitcher. I mean, it's kind of like who you gonna pick? You gonna pick Woodruff coming off an injury, or you gonna trade for a guy like Peralta?
hmm Yeah. No, there's definitely, and we talked about a little bit the difference between the postings between the Japanese pitcher and the signings, the free agency. Pretty much, if they're posted, they won't be making as much, and they'll sign like maybe a 3 to 4 year deal instead of a 6 to 7 year deal or even 8 years. Compared to when they're a free agent, they'll sign more money as a Japanese free agent coming over. So in this case, it would be, obviously a good decision for the Yankees, and it's good to see them getting more in the Japanese market for sure. So I think that would be a good option. All right, let's go to the chat a little bit here. So first we have It's Over joining us. Thank you, It's Over. I could see by reading your comments you're a Blue Jays fan. So that's great. Let's read one of your comments here. He says, Imai is signing in Toronto. Book it. The Yankees, they've already got Garrett Cole. They don't need another ace. Let's be real, Japanese stars aren't rushing to New York anymore. Not since Tanaka left. Toronto is the destination now. The future belongs to the Jays. No, definitely. I think free agents are definitely going to give Toronto more of a consideration now when signing. Obviously, it's a little bit different than playing for the Yankees, of course. But the Yankees are still going to spend. I think the Yankees are still going to be able to go out there and get who they want to get. Obviously, Howell has a budget that he has to keep to. But the players that they want to sign, I don't think there's going to be any restrictions to that. If they want him, they're going to get him. We saw even with Garrett Cole last year being hurt, they got Max Fried. That was even before that was way before
we even knew. We had an inkling that his elbow was sore during the playoffs, but you didn't know what it was going to foretold. And yeah, we got Max Fried, and look at this. We were already working on a deal with Max Fried before the Soto decision.
Mm-hmm.
So when Soto made his decision, that's why it was almost immediately that news came out that we signed Max Fried to that big deal. So that shows you how aggressive Cashman and how we're, and I mean that's a record deal too for a pitcher, for a left-handed starter, 8 years, 9 years. I forget how much, but yeah, it's a good deal. Max Fried has been solid. He's an ace too. And yeah, Cole. But it was. We don't know where he's gonna really go because I believe like a lot of the Japanese stars and the pitchers, they're gonna hold their options, and even you could say with other free agents as well, they're gonna hold their things close to the vest, and they're gonna make their decision. But and hats off if the Jays get him, then that's gonna be hats off to the Jays. But right now the Blue Jays got they got to figure out, are they going to re-sign Bo Bichette?
Yeah, that's going to be important for them to decide too. Bo Bichette, obviously a player that they would probably hope to keep with Vlad there for a long time.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that. And he has expressed that he does want to come back to the Blue Jays. So that's a good start for them, obviously. But, they have to agree to a deal. You know how this works. If they don't agree to a deal, then other teams obviously can go in and, during the winter meetings, anything is really possible. But I just don't see Bo Bichette signing with the Yankees. I don't really think that's a possibility. With Anthony Volpe already there, and they have Caballero. So
Bo Bichette, he's a cornerstone of that Blue Jays franchise, of that built that brought him up. He's part of that core group with Vladdy. So they're gonna do a lot to keep him, and I wouldn't be surprised if he signs with them, or he ends up with one of the other teams that desperately needs a shortstop.
Right. Definitely. I mean, we know the Blue Jays aren't known for their big outside free agent acquisitions, but with a guy like Bichette, who was the guy that they drafted and developed, that would be smart keep for them. Definitely.
Right.
Just want to say good morning to Michael. Good morning, Michael. How are you this morning? Thank you for being here. RPG Man. He says the biggest talk is the two Cleveland Guardians pitchers. Yes, Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase. Yeah, that was a crazy story yesterday that came out. Good morning to Independent Warrior. Let's see. Michael says, Evan, I think we covered a lot last night. The chat went, 2.5. Yeah, we did. Yeah, Sean, last night we went 2.5 hours. It was a
Oh
great
yeah.
show. And
Oh, it's great. But there is one thing about today. I want to give a shout out to the United States Marine Corps. They're celebrating their 250th birthday or
congratulations.
anniversary, however you want to put it. So, to any Marines out there in the chat or anywhere, happy birthday. Y'all celebrate like devil dogs that y'all are. But I mean it's amazing. They've been around just like the Army and the Navy just as long. Um, and yeah, we wouldn't be where we are as a nation without them. So they
Yeah,
deserve to have their day. Um, and we'll get to that on about tomorrow when we do all the things with the veterans.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then back to this. You also got that Class A who admitted to throwing games. So now you're sitting there going, did he really do what he did? And then you got Ortiz. Plus, then here's remember, we're only 2 years removed from, or 2 or 3 years removed from the scandal involving Otani and his interpreter,
Hmm.
old friend, former friend, um, with had millions of dollars in the gambling, um, that the FBI kind of covered up. But so now it's like this, Manfred. You were tough. You didn't want to reinstate Pete Rose, but are you going to show the same toughness to these players that have been caught cheating, or not just cheating, but you caught them gambling and throwing away? It's kind of this whole.
No, yeah, definitely. It's good that they're at least doing more of an investigation now. Definitely, every circumstance is different, and they have to factor in the history of the player. But with this, it's a different day and age in the MLB, and these pitchers, they definitely deserve what they get. And if they're betting, and if they're making more money than what they're betting to, then they should definitely be held liable to that. And it's definitely not fair for the integrity of the game.
No, and that was my next point too. You said it right there on the head. This is the integrity of baseball, the fairness of competition. Um, I mean, you heard the stories about the Black Sox, right? The 1919
Yeah.
Chicago White Sox.
Hmm.
Although you could almost sympathize and say they had a legitimate gripe, right? Because the owner didn't want to pay them um, the bonuses that he promised to pay them and all that stuff for the, you know, but they still were wrong in what they did, throwing the World Series. Now
Definitely.
that then you got Pete Rose, and then you got now you got this issue, and it's a epidemic across the all the leagues. And then, yes, I know we advertise. And you see all the advertisement about fans doing the fantasy sports and the parlays and the betting, but that's for the fans. When you're playing or when you're I got inside knowledge and you can affect the game,
Hmm.
um really, you know what I mean? You should not be betting, or you should not be telling your close friends and family, hey, this is what's gonna happen, so bet this or anything like that. Um, we the so it's up to um Rob Manfred to nip it in the bud by being tough on the players, and you punish them hard, and it's gonna deter others from following in their steps.
Yeah. No, definitely. Great point there. I just wanted to say good morning to Wendy as well. Good morning, Wendy. Okay, let's thumb down in the chat a little bit. John K, thank you for being here. Let's see.
But yeah,
Chef
that
Nick
was.
is here. Chef Nick, what's up, Chef? Thank you for
But
being
yeah,
here.
I know. I apologize for the rant, but
No, 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 you're good. Hey, it's our time. It's our time to shine.
oh yeah,
Say what you want. Say what you feel is needed to say.
Well, okay, and then here's the other thing I noticed in the MLB trade rumors. So I know we talked about Fairbanks.
Hmm.
So he was, or the option, the 11 multi-million dollar option was declined by the club of the Devil Rays.
Hmm.
Now, is that a reliever you would want to fortify the middle to back end?
Mm, yeah, maybe.
I mean, we already got two closers in our pen, even though one is more of a setup man now, but he has closing experience in Duval.
Yeah.
But Bednar's our closer, hands down. Um, and then I know Bird is working on that cutter, so he may actually bounce back and have a better season.
Hope so. We need him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about a guy like maybe Pete Fairbanks, maybe setting up, uh, being like a setup role guy for Bednar? What do you think about Edwin Diaz? What do you think about some of these relievers?
Um, Diaz, I would stay away because Diaz is just like Chapman. He could throw a lot of gas, and when he's on, he's one of the best closers, if not the best closer in the game.
Hmm.
But you've seen him when he gets real wild, he can blow a lead and blow the game in like a heartbeat.
Yeah, good point there.
Um, However, Fairbanks would be a guy I would like. I wanted him before, and I still would like him because he's a solid guy. And I mean, when Mo we had for years, most of his career, he always had 2 to 3 different setup men that could set up for him. And it was whether it was Jeff Nelson and Mike Stanton, not John Carlo, the pitcher Mike Stanton.
Hmm.
Or then you also had Graham Lloyd during those years. Um, and then you had the other guys, the Flash, um, and the other guy over the years. You always have. It's good to have 2 or 3 setup guys that could
Yeah,
also close when the close is not available, and that can step up in the role. But
definitely.
but imagine this: you're in the 6th inning, your starter's getting tired. You get through the 6th, and then here comes Duval, and then in comes Fairbanks,
Yep.
and then you got Bednar.
Yeah, that's
That's
scary.
Yeah, that's a scary combination that I would trust that combo most time, because it would come through more times than not.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yankees have to be smart with their bullpen. We know that Cashman likes to get good value trades, get make good value signings when it comes to the bullpen. So
Hmm.
it'll be nice to upgrade a little bit there. Of course, it's good that you have control for Doval and Bednar.
Oh yeah,
Bird is in the minors right now. Hopefully, he can contribute next season, but need to make some improvements there. Do we
yeah.
resign Devin Williams? I don't know. I don't know if it's worth the cost
Well,
of these other relievers, but
yeah. I mean, Williams. There's a good chance he may take a short-term deal with us. Um, and I mean, I wouldn't mind to have him if we get the second half version of him all year long. When he was lights
yeah,
out, locked down.
right.
And he seems to do a whole lot better in low leverage situations. I would sign him, resign him, but I would do it a 2 or 3 year deal because he could turn into a pumpkin real quick. The but this is my question for you:
Hmm.
Jason Dominguez, Luis Hill, and Austin Wells. Who would you flip them for if you had to choose?
Paul Skeens.
You flip them all three for Paul
I,
Skeen or two?
I would at least try. I mean, I know Dominguez definitely. Luis Heel, you can probably get him for Skeens too. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Austin
Uh,
Wells. I mean, I don't know if Austin Wells would do it because they have Rafael Flores, but
yeah. Well, I mean, I would flip Wells to Miami for Eduardo Cabrera or one of their strong stud relievers.
yeah, that's a good option. I know they have Augustine Ramirez too, but hey, Austin Wells has shown that he could be a good player, so I think
Yeah.
they would.
Oh, what Wells is a good player. The problem is his bat is getting too inconsistent. Um, and I don't. I mean, I love Wells. Don't get me wrong, but his defense isn't up to outside of the framing. And I mean, I know pitchers love him, but that pop time he needs to develop a quicker pop time. Uh,
Yes,
he didn't. But at that bat, I mean, if he gave his rookie year stats all year, I'd be okay with him being a below average defensive catcher who can catch the ball. I don't gotta worry about it always going to the backstop.
definitely, definitely. His framing is definitely top notch too. I think that's
Oh yeah,
important.
and
Uh,
I mean with the ABS, that's gonna go away
yes,
or it's gonna be neutralized. But he can still sneak in some of those, calls, steal
borderline,
some of, yeah,
borderline.
borderline call ones, yeah. So, I like I said, I liked him, but we need a right-handed catcher, a Rio Muto or Jansen, a Higgy, or even a there's that other guy that was mentioned yesterday.
Jansen, Higgy. You have Mitch Garver, Contreras,
Contreras, yeah. William, one of the Contreras brothers.
Wilson. I think.
Yeah, Wilson. But yeah, because of veteran guys that can mentor either Wells or Rice behind the plate.
Hmm.
But I'd probably trade Wells before I trade Rice, even though I know other teams are asking for Rice. But Ben Rice gives us a versatility that Wells does not. Um, and then yes, I'm getting Josh Naylor at first base.
Hmm.
Or I'm getting Okamoto from Japan, who can play multiple positions, and one of it being first base. Is an infield
Okamoto,
outfielder.
definitely, definitely. I think they would probably decide on trading Ben Rice before they sign some of these guys because they know like what they're getting if they want to have him play first base.
Right,
If you want to trade Wells, then you move Rice to catcher and then you sign Okamoto. Depending on what you want to do. But
right, right.
we've had great chat interaction today. Want to give a shout out to Real Bill. How are you doing this morning? We saw Chef Nick earlier. Hope you're having a great day at work. Charles, what's going on, Charles? Um, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. He says, sorry I've not been here. I'm very stressed with my family in the Philippines from the typhoon. Oh, I'm very sorry, Charles. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, Charles. We're praying for your family, loved ones. Hope to make it through all right and rebuild. Um,
Definitely.
yeah. But yeah, but no, the reason I would like Josh Naylor is the dude is an absolute bulldog.
Hmm.
Um, and he would bring something to add to. He brings swag. He's a big dude. I mean, he stole 30 bases, and he's husky dude. Stole 30 bases yet last year. Um, but I mean, you think of this. Can you imagine an Aaron Judge, uh, Josh Naylor? If we get Cody Bellinger, um, and a Stanton, and in any particular order, whether it's Judge, Belly, Naylor, Stanton, or however they want to do it, but that'd be your middle of the order, your 2 through 5.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
that sounds like a great middle of the order to me.
oh yeah, and then and if we get Okamoto, or we get Stephen Kwan, if we trade for him by packaging maybe a minor leaguer that's close to the majors, or even sending Cabrera or somebody to him. I mean, even Dominguez. I would put him at our leadoff spot, and I would, if we don't end up getting Bellinger, resigning him, and he goes somewhere else, and he has the power to do so. Um, I would bring up Spencer Jones, but I'm giving him a full ride.
Yes.
But I'm getting Stephen Kwan if Bellinger does not work out, because Kwan can play center, or he can play left field about as best as anything, and that will allow Bellinger or allow Spencer Jones to just focus on center field with having two of the most elite outfielders on either side, and
Hmm.
Aaron Judge and Stephen Kwan.
Oh, that would be great. That would really, really be great. They have to decide on, Spencer Jones, of course. We'll see what they do there. Do they have Dominguez
And then
play center field? I don't know. I think that would be a smart decision. But if you re-sign
it,
Bellinger, he's probably playing center
right,
and left. If you re-sign Grisham, it's center field. So it really is crazy right now. They have a lot of options. They need to, come up with a good decision. Feel like what's best for the
yeah.
team.
But if
And
they're not gonna play Dominguez every single day, whether he's in center or left field, if they're not gonna play him every single day. They better trade him for either Paul Skeens or getting Stephen Kwan.
yeah, I agree. Play Dominguez or trade him. Dominguez deserves an opportunity. He deserved more of a chance last year in the leadoff spot when he was hitting over 300. They
Right,
had
right.
that winning streak. I mean, come on, that was.
But
I
yeah,
don't. You don't care so much about his defense when he's hitting over 300 at the leadoff spot. I mean,
okay.
I just don't understand. I don't understand
No,
why they.
I don't understand, but analytics has a huge say, unfortunately, in the organization. And between Cashman, Fisher, whatever his name is, Fishman,
Michael Fishman, yeah,
yeah, and Boone, the things just get awkward. But he deserves better from the Yankees. Dominguez does. However, I'm gonna throw this over to the chat. I want to hear what their options for leadoff, who they want for first base, um, and different other holes they want filled.
okay. First base leadoff. Yep, definitely. So, guys, give your predictions in the chat. Who do you guys want to see playing those positions? Who do you think is the right fit? Just wanted to shout out Nathan. What's up, Nathan? Just coming back from his workout. There we go. Who was at the Jets game yesterday? We'll get into that a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get into the football here in a minute, and um yeah, rest in peace, Paul Tagliabue.
Yes.
I mean, the dude absolutely was a legend, and all the things that he did contributing to making the NFL what it is today. And that 17 years that he was a part of the as commissioner, and the years he was as a lawyer for them. So, you know, but he was 84 years old. Uh, Thoughts and prayers to his family, loved ones. But
Hmm.
yeah, um, you know, it's. Could you imagine football
He
not
was.
being as big and dominant as he is?
I know. I was. They were showing on SportsCenter a little bit last night, a little bit about his history, and he was the one that I think started Monday Night Football, which was great.
Yep.
He definitely made sure that the integrity of the game was held up to standard, and it was important for him to be recognized, especially in the Football Hall of Fame. So um, we thank him, and we hope that he rests in peace for sure.
Yeah, but I can't see what the chat's saying. But if you can see what they
Yes, yeah. Unfortunately, we can't pull up the comments because I don't have access to that,
no,
but
no, no. But
we'll definitely
I just
read them.
On my
Yeah,
phone, I can't see the chat and
yeah,
keep in the
no
same
problem.
window.
We have Michael said none of our young players should be untouchable. If we were talking about Skeens, I absolutely agree with that. Absolutely agree. Nathan gives us a great reminder here. He says, "Don't forget, everybody, today at 4 p.m. Nathan's team and himself have booked Colin Cosell, the current Mets PA announcer and Army football PA announcer. So Colin Cosell today at 4 p.m. with Joe, right here on NY Yankee Media. Get your questions ready in the chat. If you have any questions for him as well, you can email Joe at joeyankees28@gmail.com, and let him know. Let him know, and please subscribe to the channel. Please like our streams. There's a lot going on here. We have NBA show going on. We have a morning show every single day, every single weekday at 9 o'clock. We also have guest interviews. And then tomorrow night's a big show. We're honoring our troops here on NY Yankee Mania, such as Sean, Ken from Yankees The Ugly Truth, for their hard work and their service to the great United States. So we thank them for that. And please come on by for our future shows.
Yeah. And apparently, Nathan, I think you just texted me about an event with Kayvon Thibodeau in the Jersey area or somewhere.
Yeah, he's mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if anybody's out there in that New York, New Jersey, tri-state area, and you wanna, or you got some time tomorrow, check out that event. Where these players get to interact with fans and sign autographs, and whatnot they do at these events. Um, those are once in a lifetime opportunities. So if you're able, go down there wherever um, the place is being held.
Definitely. It says baseline social. So I think it's somewhere I think it's in South Jersey. I think it's in South
Okay.
Jersey. Yeah, so Nathan promotes a lot of things on his Instagram. I've had the pleasure of meeting Fernando Cruz through Nathan and a lot of other great people. So
And
please, guys, around. Yeah.
what was it like when you actually get to shake hands
Um,
with a big leaguer?
yeah, I was scared. I was scared, but I was excited too. I mean, he was sitting right there with his agent. It was really cool. It was really really exciting. It was great. Just told him that thank you for what you've done for the Yankees, and hopefully you can come back strong next year. This was before the playoffs too, so I said good luck in the playoffs and good luck in your future too. So he'll be back
Yeah,
with us next year, though. Fernando is under control.
right. And yeah, hopefully, I know they're talking about doing that whole taking the Yankees to arbitration. Hopefully that goes well and that doesn't, but it usually kind of results after it gets resolved that it results in a player get traded. But that's just kind of the way it is with business. Um, However, I would love for Fernando Cruz to be for rest of his playing career be a Yankee.
Yes, yes. There were reports that he wanted more money, so hopefully they can settle on that. Business is business. The market's the market. They can only do what the GM and the owner think is best. So, but
Right.
hopefully they can reach an agreement because he is an important part of
Yeah.
our
I mean,
definitely.
hey, I don't know. I mean, just what was so fun was all the different facial flexes
Yeah,
and
no, that was great.
expressions that he.
Yeah, that was great. That was really cool. Fernando doesn't let it hide. He doesn't hide it.
No.
He's
But yeah.
puts it out.
And
Yeah.
that's the part of the Yankees that was missing
Mhm.
for the last few years. Because
Yeah.
in the '90s and even the early 2000s, even though yes, you had Jeter and you had Posada Jeter was kind of more stoic but he but he pumped that fist. He showed excitement. Um, and then Posada, he was not afraid to show his emotions.
Oh
on
yeah.
the field, and then you had Paul O'Neill and the water cooler. Um, and then even Don Zimmer, he would be animated in the dugout. So you had that. You had the business like Yankees, down to business, grind it out, all that, and they would all do that. But then you also had the other ones that wore their emotions on the sleeve, and they brought that swagger. Nick Johnson later came, and Nick Swisher, all those guys came up, and Todd Frazier.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Todd, Godfather.
But you had Pettit with that intense stare over the glove. There was just a different thing that you got fired up. Al Duque, he just with the wind up. And then
Yes.
that became a dance. So it was just and Moose with that with his special wind up. Musina, Roger Clemens, he had that dog. I'm gonna stare you down, and then I'm gonna throw you inside. And if you hit one of my players, I'm gonna hit one of your players. So and then CC had that too.
Yeah.
So there was a toughness that the Yankees had that has been trademarked with the Yankees. And now we're getting that back, and so I would like them to kind of keep it going and just keep getting more players that have that. You
Yeah.
know,
We need that. As much as analytics take over today's game, you still need players with intensity, with energy. That's definitely very important. You need that balance. That was
like
definitely a problem
you
before.
remember when Tyler Austin
Yes, I
in
remember.
the brawl with Joe Kelly? Oh
Yes.
man,
Fun times. Fun
that was
times.
fun times. Yeah, I mean, you just yeah, and then I mentioned Hideki Arabu. I forgot to mention that. And you probably seen the highlights of it, but it was like '97 and a intense Orioles Yankees game. Bernie Williams hits a home run. The guy after him gets plunked in the back. I think it
Mhm.
was Tino. And Batista. So then when Hideki Arabu the next inning, the next frame, he throws behind or at one of the Orioles batters, and then he throws down the gloves, and then they start fighting. You know, so it just I mean, like he was like, "I'm ready. I'm gonna." So he just threw down the glove, and then you just started going at him, and
Yeah.
then it all turned into that wild brawl that even poured out into the dugouts with Darryl Strawberry, Graham Lloyd, and all those guys throwing haymakers. So
Yeah.
there's a that part of baseball should still be held in and be encouraged. I don't want them to get too crazy and wild, but you gotta allow them to. We should be allowed to see the players' emotions. You know,
Definitely. Definitely. It's a very important part. Very important part of the game. We
like
have, let's see, we have RPG Man. He said the Rangers can't win at home, and the Giants blow a big lead and lose the game. So let's get into a little bit of football here. So
yeah,
speaking of the Giants, yeah, they're 2-8. They're going nowhere again. Another season that's lost. Jackson Dart is now hurt, has a concussion, probably out for the next week or so. Hopefully not for too long, but he is out again, or just out for next week. But
oh yeah,
there's really no point in them trying to make any significant moves if they want to fire a coach. I mean, at this point, yeah, you can do it, but it's not really going to change much.
no. I mean, if they do it at the end of the season, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, Brian Dayball, as much as it struggles, but it's not all his fault. I mean, he can only do so much with the players that he has, and then when his stars get hurt, um, but the players play for him. We seen him with the energy, but you lose Scatterboo, you lose Neighbors, you lose Dexter Lawrence, and you lose some of these guys to injuries, and then now you got Dart injured with a concussion. No telling how much that's gonna lag, even if he clears next week. Um, and then you got an old guy that's over the hill that's still trying to play baseball or football. In Russell Wilson, he's not in his prime. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just as bad as you saw the bloodbath last night where the Steelers just got dominated, and that was mainly on the shoulders of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers couldn't even connect with DK Metcalf, who's one of the fastest receivers and a stud receiver at that.
Hmm.
And he's 6'4", and you kept missing him, overthrowing him. There was different things. I saw parts of that game. But yeah, unfortunately, yeah, the Giants are having a hard time and they're losing these heartbreaking losses. First to Denver, and then it kind of snowballed from there. But I mean, and then you got the Jets. They win an inspirational thing, but it's the Browns.
Yeah.
So, it,
Well, the Jets had two special teams touchdowns yesterday. I know their offense didn't do much. I think Brees Hall had a rushing touchdown.
yeah,
Uh,
Brees Hall was the offense.
yeah, yeah. But the defense, I feel like they did a lot better.
Yeah.
Any defensive changes that you thought they did better yesterday?
Um, they played the Jets. Oh, I saw some of their defense. McDonald,
Yeah.
William McDonald. He played out of his mind. He was the best player on that defensive line, and Quincy Williams, one of the Williams brothers. He
Hmm.
had a good game too. But the whole defensive strategy was get after the quarterback, pressure Gabriel, and they had Gabriel off balance the whole game. Um, and yeah, I mean, I don't know why the Browns won't play Shador Sanders, but that's something else. And then you got uh, can we talk about what happened to the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah. The Bills.
Um,
What happened to them yesterday? Wow, losing to the Miami Dolphins, 30-13. Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're sorry, real Bill, but the Bills just they look like they spent all their energy beating the Chiefs last week, and then they said we're gonna take this game off. I mean, they just three turnovers. Yeah, Allen turned it over on a fumble. You got James Cook fumbles,
Yeah.
and yeah, um, and they just could not stop Chubb. Chubb was like in that backfield all game long.
Right.
So
And another team in the AL East, I mean, or not the AL East, the AFC East, the Patriots. The Patriots are currently leading that division right now with an 8-2 record. How
oh yeah.
surprising is that? With Mike Vrabel at the helm, Drake May. Wow, that's very, very
Mhm.
surprising. I did not see that coming this year.
And the Patriots, as much as it pains me to say, they are playing as a complete team. They're
Yeah,
playing sound on offense, sound on defense, sound on the special teams. And Mike Vrabel, he's got it. Them playing the Patriot way. And remember, Vrabel was a defensive guru when he in his playing days, who also would be brought in by Belichick to do trick plays on the offense, on the goal line packages and stuff like that. So, this is a guy that knows football. And, unfortunately with his time at Tennessee, the whole organizational culture was, terrible and you couldn't really manifest a win even while they had Derrick Henry, you
right,
know.
right. Yeah,
And
for sure.
so yeah, and then there's what else? Um there was other blowouts. I mean, Seahawks totally wiped the floor with the Cardinals.
Yeah, the Seahawks
Um
destroyed them.
the What did you think of the 49ers Rams game? I know that was kind of a back and forth battle.
Yeah, going into the game, uh, there was a question. Uh, it was Not really determined, but you could probably see that Mac Jones was going to start that game. I feel like Purdy he wasn't going to return in yesterday's game. He was still hurt. So Mac Jones was playing, and I expected the Rams to win this game. I didn't think it would be 42 to 26, but I thought it would be more competitive. And the Rams, they're proving that they're a legit contender in the NFC. That division, the NFC West, is going to come down to the wire between the Seahawks and the Rams. No, I think the Rams are very competitive, and Matthew Stafford, even at an older age, is still putting up great numbers with Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams, Higbee. The Rams they're a great team every single season, and that's due to Sean McVay being a great coach.
Oh yeah, and and then like back to we're talking about the Giants. I mean the Bears. You can't underestimate what the Bears are doing this year. They're playing. They're kind of getting back to that whole smash mouth Bears, um, where they come at you hard, aggressive, and they just find some ways to get that magic comebacks.
Right.
They got all these comebacks like the Detroit Lions had a few years ago. Um, I just wouldn't sleep on them. But yeah, there's a lot of teams, and it's like the playoff race is going to be really interesting because you got teams that are on the fringe that you know can make it, but no one's really running away with I mean, aside from the Patriots and their division and um probably what
The Eagles are going to win the NFC East.
yeah, and then the Colts are probably going to win the South, the AFC
Colts,
South.
yeah,
And the Bucks are probably going to win the NFC South. But I mean,
yeah,
but as far as we don't really have like a clear cut top
yeah.
team in the league, you got like Broncos and
The Broncos, yeah, they're an interesting team.
the Colts. I mean, the Broncos are getting what the Chiefs got a couple of years ago or last year when they're winning all these one score games, but it's going to bite them in the end.
Close games, yeah,
All these close games, one score games, and they're getting all the weird bounces. Remember, people were hating the Chiefs because of that, but the
yes,
Broncos are getting it too. So one team is gonna get all of those bounces on any given year. It's just you never know who it is.
definitely. We see that now the Lions look to be back on track. They're cruising again, 6-3.
Yeah,
Uh, in a wild game yesterday, the Texans defeated the Jaguars. That was it was a
right.
crazy game comeback in that one. And you also had the Saints defeating the Panthers, and then the Ravens look to be back on track at 4-5
Yeah,
now. Mark Jackson.
and
Once
like
they
I
got
said,
him,
the Steelers are free falling right now. I mean I was saying this to a guy I work with. I asked a question, and I'm gonna ask this again to the chat, and I'm gonna ask you: do you think that Mike Tomlin should bench Aaron Rodgers for the rest of the season?
okay.
And then, do you think he should retire because he's Father Time is undefeated, and it's clearly show he's not like the prime competitive Aaron Rodgers, or even a couple years ago that last season in Green Bay when he was at least competitive.
Yeah. The only problem is their backup is Mason Rudolph, and I don't think Tomlin's gonna bench Rodgers. I think they're gonna stick to the game plan that they've been doing all year. They're still 5-4. They're still uh, a good team, but it is pretty crazy because things can turn very instantly in this league, and the Ravens are right on their throats, so they got to be cautious of that. I think they still play each other twice. They haven't played each other at all this year yet, so that should be a fun matchup when it happens.
Right. Um. Now let's see. Let's go over some of the hockey.
Yes, hockey scores. Yep. So we have the Rangers currently. Let's see, where are they in the standings? Currently, the New York Rangers are in sixth place right now in the Metropolitan Division with a record of 7-7 and with 16 points. You have the Islanders right above the Rangers in fifth place with a 7-6 record, 16 points, and then you have the New Jersey Devils in second place with a record of 11-4 with 22 points. You know, one
Yeah.
thing that really stands out, and some of you guys have mentioned it in the chat, like RPG Man saying, "What's wrong with the Rangers? 7-1 on the road, but 0-6 at home. Yeah, they haven't won a home game yet. It seems like something has, really gone wrong at home this year for the Rangers. I don't know what it is. I don't know why they can't consistently find success on the offensive side. I don't know what's going on with them there, but they have to get it together at home. Definitely.
Maybe they need to go to Joe's house for some chicken parm. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nah. I mean, they just not getting the home cooking. I don't know. I haven't really watched too much of it. But I was trying to figure out what that third thing in their stats, because every time I've seen hockey stats, when their records, like the wins, losses, and I'm like, what's that third?
Yeah. So they have like the overtime losses. So even if they
Okay.
get an overtime loss, it doesn't really count on their loss record. It just counts as an overtime loss, but they still get a point out of it. That's why it's not a complete loss because they still get 1 point if they don't win in overtime. But
No,
yeah,
but no,
you
yeah,
all,
that makes sense.
I bet they have like the Florida Panthers on down there, right? They have the
Yeah,
Lightning.
Tampa Bay Lightning, the Florida Panthers are good. I just I've watched hockey casually. Like I'll flip a game on
Hmm.
periodically, and I'll sit there and I'll watch. Like I've watched the Penguins and I've watched Sid Crosby,
Yeah,
um, who's an absolute legend. I've watched some of the Capitals. There's different ones. I don't really have a per se favorite team in hockey, but I want to try to get more into hockey. Um, I'll tell you this: there was years ago, my 16th birthday. My best friend's dad had um, got me tickets to a minor league hockey game, but he took me and his son, who was my best friend. Um, he was like 2 or 3 years younger than me at the time, or still is. But he took me there, and then but it was enjoyable. So I like hockey. I just haven't really got past the whole casual.
I definitely get it. I definitely get it. There are other sports that take place during the hockey season that's more interesting. And I used to
Yeah,
not be a hockey fan really until a couple years ago, where I really started to
right.
watch the sport more often. And but it
But
was
Olympic hockey, I'll watch that like binge
Olympic,
watch.
Olympic hockey. You had the four nations. Yep, the Olympics USA team. Yep, definitely. That's very very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael says, Evan, which sport do you like better, basketball or hockey? I do like basketball better. I've been watching the Nets for a longer time than I have the Devils. I've always liked basketball more. Um, Sean, you're a basketball fan, so like which team do you like?
Um. So I've kind of switched over the years of different teams.
Hmm.
Um. Like I for a while I loved the Lakers, because when I started watching the Lakers,
Hmm.
it was right after Jordan retired.
Hmm.
Um. So obviously when I started watching basketball, it was when Jordan and the Bulls were. Hey Nathan.
What's
What's
up,
up?
guys? What's up, Evan? What's up, Frank?
Um. So when you had Jordan and you had Pippen and you had Rodman, and I love that old school defensive style of play. Um, then I watched Kobe and Shaq,
Mm-hmm.
and I really fell in love with the Lakers at that point. Um, but I also liked Alonzo Mourning. The Heat. I was rooting for Alonzo in that last year in '06. So, like I said, I can watch him any game. But yeah, I like the old school. Duke it out in the paint, get rebounds. The steals, the whole complete game. Um, and like I've said before, I've always kind of had a problem with now today's game. There's way too much load management because, just as I mentioned, Jordan and Pippen and if you go back, even Magic Johnson and those guys, you saw them playing 48 to 60 minutes each game.
Yeah.
You know, they may sat out 5 here, 5 there, but you were getting your stars on both teams. You're getting all the stars for majority of the game. And you got the role players to spell them, to give them breath, you know. But and yeah, the game is fun, but the problem is when you load management it, and then I don't know how they're really gonna survive the scandal that's affecting the league. But I'll hand it over to Nathan.
Yeah. First of all, sorry I'm late. Obviously, we're worked out in the gym today, and I haven't worked out in a while, so it went back, felt good. And what's up, everyone in the chat? Shout out, everyone. Good morning. I hope everyone is having a great day so far. And guys, don't forget to continue to liking, subscribing to each channels, and don't forget our good friend Colin Cosell is coming on today at 4:00. Get your questions ready for him. It's gonna be a great show. He's a great guy to work with. You guys are gonna enjoy him. So please get your questions ready for that. And then tomorrow is the big veteran show. Salute to the troops and inspiring stories from different people like Sean, Ken, and other people who serve the country. Not only serve the country, who's going through a lot like cancer and also my friend Ashley. She'll be coming on tomorrow night too. She has cancer right now, so she'll be talking about that. And also, my team and I are working on more people to come on, and then we're gonna try and see if we can get Kayvon Thibodeau from the event tomorrow to come on here for a little bit, just to say thank you to the troops or something. So we'll figure it out. We'll try and make that happen. But yes, so stay tuned for more things and a lot of things coming up for the show now. And then my other show, Nathan Sports Rush, and also Job in the Mouth. We're doing a live show pretty soon on November 17th at Virgil's in New York. So whoever's available, please come and support. Yeah, so I mean, to the Yankees, the Japanese guy who got posted, man, he put up some unbelievable numbers, man, during the season. He is a strikeout stud. He's nasty. He has great secondary pitches. So the Yankees have to jump all over this. I think this is a Yankees guy. He has a little bit more power than Tanaka. I mean, obviously Tanaka was able to strike out people, but he was more off speed. This guy throws gas too. So
fast pitcher.
Yeah. So I think, I mean, obviously the Dodgers will be in it, and no matter what, the Dodgers will be in this. But hopefully the Yankees can outplay them and get him because he'll be a huge asset to the rotation. So for the Yankees, so that's the one big thing. So I'm happy that he's getting posted. But I'm just worried that the Dodgers or another team will come up big. But I'm hoping Howe and Cashman does something here. And I mean, you guys talked about Paul Skeens. You already know my thing on it. I want him, and we want Paul Skeens in that rotation. Hopefully, they can get it done. I would give up Dominguez and what do you call it? And George Lombard. Yeah, because they were talking. I mean, especially Jones and Lombard, but they were talking about that during the trade deadline, and they were willing to give up Jones and Lombard.
I would throw in Hill. I'd be like, hey, you take Luis Hill.
Yeah, because we got Cam too. So don't forget we got Cam. But so yeah, throw in Luis Hill. I mean, it all depends what they're going to do. I hope so. I hope they revisit those talks and get into that Japanese market. So yeah, those are the things that the Yankees need to focus on, and also Danny Jansen is another one that I want on the team. Danny Jansen or Hickey for right-handed catching. They need all that. They need a first baseman. They need a shortstop. They need an outfielder. So they got so many needs, but we got to see what happens. That's why I'm kind of worried if Grisham accepts that qualifying offer. That takes half of your money off. So I'd rather have.
Yeah, it does, but then the Yankees would have to be creative.
Yeah, but I would rather have him test the free agent market to see what he gets because he deserves it. I I want him to test and market. But yeah, so let's see what happens there. And obviously yesterday, uh, I was able to we helped out with the Tunnel to for Towers Foundation at the Jets game. So we presented Corporal um, Adrian Simon. I don't know if you know him, Sean, but he served also, and we presented him with a mortgage free smart home yesterday as a surprise. Yeah, he didn't know he didn't know that he was going to get one, but we surprised him for all the things he's done in the serving the country and the community. So we presented him that during the second quarter on the field of the Jets Browns game, and what a great experience! And obviously we have a connection through the Jets and Giants, but we did this through the foundation, and shout out to them because Tunnel Two Towers. If you guys don't know about it, they're one of the biggest foundations out there. They help out the troops and everyone, and it's amazing what I saw yesterday. He yes, giving and being part of that, it's special. We'll mention that again tomorrow on the show, but yeah, but that was a great experience yesterday. So yeah, but yeah, a lot of crazy football games yesterday.
Yeah.
A lot of high scoring games.
Yeah,
It was crazy, but
but
yeah,
you were there in person. What was it like seeing the defense of the Jets?
the
I
defense
mean, I
played.
know
Dylan Gabriel struggled. He had, I mean, I don't know what he was doing. Some of those throws he had yesterday was like crazy, and the Jets defense showed up yesterday. Even the first time since '07 they did kickoff return and a punt return back to back, which is crazy. I mean, Justin Fields looked off yesterday, but obviously the points came off the special teams, most of it, and then obviously Brees Hall came up big at the end. He seemed
yeah.
motivated. He seems motivated now after requesting a trade, but he
Well,
didn't get traded, so he seems motivated. If they're going to keep him, extend him. He's their top running back, he's one of the
yeah.
top running backs in the league, in my opinion, when healthy. So,
Oh
um,
yeah. And, I mean, he'll be a free agent after this year. So
and I mean that was a good win for them. Obviously, they're trying to get the number one pick, but now I don't know if they're going to get it. With these two wins, because the Saints won yesterday too, surprisingly. But
Yeah.
um,
yeah,
uh,
I think it'll be Tennessee.
yeah,
Tennessee, the Browns, or maybe the Giants or
I
Jets.
mean,
Some of them.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see because that quarterback that everybody wants from what's his name?
Fernando,
Fernandez. Yeah,
Fernando Mendoza. Yeah.
yeah, Mendoza. Sorry, Mendoza. So he's a great quarterback. Obviously, great talent. Everybody wants him. That's the Jets. The Jets should. I mean, let's see what happens there. But before the game, they did a nice tribute for Nick Mangold.
Mhm.
His wife was there. His 4 kids was there, and Ferguson. Ferguson was there. His teammate. It was a great moment for that, and they had like a big picture of him and number 74. The whole
Mm-hmm.
thing. So it was
Ah,
great day at the MetLife.
yeah. I mean, I remember him when he came in the league around fair early in the 2000s, and yeah, he took over as center, and he was the anchor in that O line, for so many years until he retired. And I believe he should be in the Hall of Fame. And I'm not just saying that because he was a Jet and I'm a Jets fan, but I'm just saying that he was one of the best centers. And I know those stats for offensive linemen are hard to interpret unless you really go into the PFFs and all that. Um, but he was consistent for what, 12 something years.
Yeah.
He's consistent day in and day out, and the number of starts that you have on offensive line, that should be a big indicator. But yeah, him. I liked what the league did for not only Paul Tagliabue, but also for the defensive lineman from the Cowboys, Nealand.
Yeah. Marshawn Nealon. Yeah.
Yeah, Marshawn Leland. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they took the moment of silence before the national anthem. The only problem I had with the networks is when I was watching some of the games, like they would do the
Yeah,
tributes.
yeah. You know the surprise. For some reason, the Jets didn't do the moment of silence for Marshawn yesterday.
Mm.
I don't know, but I don't.
I thought every team would do it. We didn't. I didn't even see the Jets do it yesterday for Marshawn.
Yeah, well, I probably, I probably, like, hey, he's in our hearts, whatever. But, it was kind of hard trying to fit it in. Um, because I mean, when they were doing it for Paul Tagliabue, his death was announced Sunday morning. I think he passed away over the night, whatever. Um, then they were doing it, and then NBC actually cut away and didn't even. So before the person started singing, after the moment of silence for all that, they cut away and didn't even So no one heard the national anthem unless you were in the stadium. It's like
Mm-hmm.
that's
Right.
kind of uh, but that's unfortunately they cut away to the commercials at wrong times in the games. Um, and I don't know that maybe it was just me, my TV, but uh, hopefully they get better at it because to me, I think that the national anthem should be aired. I know it's played, but it should be aired, every game,
On
and
TV.
then you can yeah, and then you can cut to the commercials and then come back with the kickoff. Because I mean, coin toss. You want to? I mean, do you think we should see the coin toss as well? Or
Hmm. I mean, no, I don't think so. I think the national anthem, that would be nice, but again, the TV company, they have the commercials that they have to take and
right? No, and
promote.
I do understand the business of it, but it's just kind of like you guys can work better on
Yeah.
having better timing. Um, but yeah, no, I mean it was a good weekend of football. I mean, college was kind of bizarre too um in some of those games, like Wisconsin beating Washington. Um, and then so yeah, a lot of things are, and we haven't even touched on the wrestling. I was gonna do a promo for
Yeah.
well, not a promo,
Local talk with Joe, Evan, and Victor. I mean, Joe, TJ.
TJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Friday night. I'm sorry, I'm still a little tired from working overnight, but Friday night at 10 p.m. Come along for the simul stream, however you want to call it,
Simulcast, yeah.
simulcast. Where Joe, his nephew TJ, who really knows wrestling, even though he's a young kid, and then Victor from Third Floor Podcast.
Hmm.
Um, they do a really great job. And at Friday nights, and even come in when we do the NBA stream on Friday nights. As we begin to wrap up this stream, and our final thoughts, guys. With everything going on in sports, come along with us, and we'll do our best to cover a lot of all these sports and the information, and we'll give it to you um, the best we can with what we
Hmm.
have. But we're not gonna give you talking points. We're gonna give you guys the information. We may give you our opinions on what we think should be done or how things should go about. But in the end, the decisions that are made in the sports world between GMs and players, um, that's what they mean. We're just fans and we're just reporting on this stuff, and we're all gonna talk about it together. So come along and be a part of the family. Like, subscribe, um, come and
Yes.
join us, become a member.
Yep.
Um, anything else between? Because
Good job, guys. Good
Hey
job,
guys,
Sean. Great job.
like I said, sorry for joining late, but I had things to take care of. But
No worries, Nathan.
shout out to Evan and Sean for doing a great job this morning, and obviously talk about all topics. By the way, Rangers played tonight, so let's go Rangers against the Penguins. That's be a big game. And also, I just booked Bucky Dent for our Jabba in the Mouth show for
Okay.
November 19th, Wednesday at 8:45 p.m. Eastern. So tune in. He will be on the Jabba in the Mouth show November 19th. And my team and I are also working on getting Bucky Dent on here. So stay tuned.
Oh yeah, Joe will love that.
Yeah. So he will be coming on our Jabba in the Mouth show on November 19th, Wednesday, 8:45 p.m. Eastern. The one and only Bucky Dent. So
Lucky then. There we go. You guys heard it here first. Of course, thank you guys for coming out this morning. We appreciate it. Remember that tomorrow we're going to have the morning show as well. Joe won't be here, so it'll be us three again tomorrow morning. Today at 4 p.m., we have the Mets PA announcer as well as the Army PA announcer, Colin Cosell, joining Joe at 4 p.m. today. That should be a fun interview. And then we have tomorrow night, the big show, honoring the Troop Show, honoring Sean, Ken from Yankees The Ugly Truth, as well as having a lot of the guests that Nathan brought on our show here as well on that show. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you for your service, Sean. Thank you for your service, Ken. To all the troops out there, it means a lot for us. And obviously, while they're risking their lives, we're here just Google having fun and doing our own things while they're serving the country, and they're risking their lives every day. And we gotta cherish them for every moment what they did. And obviously today they're celebrating the anniversary, so shout out to them. But tomorrow's a big day also, Veterans Day, and we gotta support them. We gotta mention them as possible. And if you see someone, by the way, tomorrow, everybody in the chat, I want to see everyone outside. If you see someone like with a military uniform, or if you see someone with the hat that served, go up to them, say thank you for your service. I mean, just say go to them, say hi, thank you for your service. It will make their day, and that's what I do usually. I go up to people when I see them in a uniform or a hat. I say thank you for your service, and because it would make their day, it makes your day also, and on a special day. Yeah. Yep. So, like I said, Sean and Ken, thank you both for your services. You guys can't wait to learn. I can't wait to hear more stories what you guys went through.
Oh yeah, no, I do that all the time. Where I see, especially older generations, the World War II, the Korea, Vietnam. Those guys, I'll go up and salute them. And even with the Vietnam guys, I tell them thank you for your service. And I said, and a long overdue welcome home, because they didn't get a bright welcome. Yeah. But we'll cover that more tomorrow. But yeah, come along, be a part. And yeah, hey, at 4 p.m., be here in the channel. And Joe is going to have the meeting with Colin, his interview. And you know what, Joe? It's going to be a wild time.
Yeah, get your questions ready for Colin. My team and I love working with him, and you guys are going to enjoy him. So get your questions ready for him too. So
definitely. Well, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you guys in the chat. You guys are the best. And with that, I guess we'll leave you guys off with, we'll see you in the funny papers.
Yeah, see you guys.
See you guys in the funny papers.